Wow, Jing! Thank you sa paayuda mo namang cake, no? Mukhang masarap, no? So, tikman natin, no? Sarap kaya to. Yummy, Jing. Sarap, Jing. Pwede ka na mag-environmental planner, no? So, hi po sa ating mga subscribers. Ako po si Al ng Plantitos, Plantitas. Halika, samahan niyo ako today as I tour you to the Diosdado Macapagal Government Center, the regional center of Central Luzon. Tara!
Hello, Plantitas and Plantitas!
Kakatapos lang ng ating 10-10 sale.
Diba? So, gano'n nakatagal yun? Ayan, I'm back.
Parang babarilin ako ng guard to. Yun po, kasalukuyan po ako naglalakad ngayon in the streets of Florence, Italy. Joke, charot lang, no? Actually, nandito lang po ako sa aming office, Neyra Region 3. As you can see, the neoclassical style of our building this was actually an influence of the Renaissance and Baroque periods. Let's revisit the Middle Ages, Renaissance, and Baroque periods and its relevance to the present and future of environmental planning, where majority of the regional offices of national government agencies are located. So this establishment of regional centers is not new, no? This was started pa long before the Middle Ages at the onset of early civilization, wherein the capital or the seat of government is usually situated in the central part of the community. So the medieval cities are actually built with walls and fortified castles to defend themselves from barbarian invasions as well as from other kingdoms. The lords or the king's household or its government are usually in the centers also near the castles. We are here in the vicinity of Land Bank here in the government center. Land Bank's office is actually located in the center of the center. So, Middle Ages was an era of the flourishment of trade and banking, wherein the earliest traces of an organized bank was traced to Medici Bank. Banking comes from the word banco or bench, or what we call banks today. They are usually accessible in major streets. These banks actually became the drivers to have a standard monetary policy we have today. So yun, kakadaan lang po natin sa DNR Regional Office 3. Medyo tinago ko po yung camera ko kasi parang babarilin ako ng guard doon, no? So, walking in the streets in medieval ages naman, alam niyo ba, ay actually very unpleasant or very mabaho, no? In fact, the liquid waste actually drains directly from the households to the streets. Many towns and cities in the Philippines still lack proper drainage, sewerage, and sewage treatment facilities for their water system. That's why we as environmental planners must exert more effort and push further the inclusion of drainage plants, especially the establishment of sewerage and sewage treatment in our community plans to ensure that the rivers that we live in will be sustainable. Kasalukuyan po tayong bumabaybay sa vicinity ng Department of Health Regional Office. Ayan po sila. As we all know, DOH are the leads in today's COVID-19 response and mitigation. So as mentioned, di ba, Middle Ages, meron ding pandemya, yung Black Plague. Yes, ito yung because of the poor sanitation and due also to the onset of globalization during that time, no? It killed 20 million people, or about 30% of the whole population. So, the present situation of the this present situation can learn from that event actually, no? So, nandito po tayo ngayon sa regional office ng DSUD or Department of Human Settlements and Urban Development. So, during the Middle Ages, feudalism is the common system of governance, no? Wherein kings and lords grants lands to peasants and farmers in exchange of their agricultural production and loyalty, of course. So, bringing back to the present, hindi na po tayo feudalism, no? This is no longer a trend dahil baka magwelga mga sangkatauhan. Hence, the society now, our society now is mostly democratic and now involves multi-sectoral cooperation. That's why in planning, land use planning is now been the practice in managing land systems. So land use plans tells which land will be used for production, for settlements, or for those areas who need protection. So we as environmental planners, of course, believe that land use can be a catalyst for economic, social, and physical development, which is one of our goals, no, in achieving equity, economy, and environment. So, sa Pilipinas po, the National Land Use Act is still a pending bill at our Congress, no? As we all know, this law will be the one to rationalize and empower land classification to prevent land conversion, no? Well, as present and future environmental planners, we must take and we must exert effort and take the lead in influencing our leaders to pass this bill. So back to our neoclassical building, no? The Renaissance and Baroque periods is actually an age of art and architecture with great emphasis on the Catholic Church on the earlier Renaissance years, no? Artists in this period started envisioning their ideal cities as ordered and geometrically perfect entities, no? And urban planning projects are actually give more attention to human experience. Most European cathedrals in this period are built in Romanesque styles, Gothic and Baroque styles, no? Cathedrals then are considered the largest buildings in a town, no? And can be found at the centers. This paved the way for the planners in that area to preserve the historical and cultural significance of their buildings. Actually, no, in the Philippines, it was actually Spain who brought Roman Catholicism and European culture here in our country during the Renaissance period. That's why our churches, old Hispanic buildings, and early communities and cities like Manila itself, the provincias, pueblos, barrios are patterned after European cities. In fact, some towns in the Philippines are named after Spanish places due to resemblance, just like Madrid, Cadiz, Cuenca, Toledo, Valencia, and Barcelona, among others. Churches then are masterpiece of the towns. Back here in the Philippines, there are some towns in our country that have height restriction policies in their poblations, no? Or what we call, or it's a policy where structures should not be the establishment or the construction of structures should not be higher than the dome of the main church in a town, no? So yon, the impact of the medieval, Renaissance, and Baroque periods somehow gave birth to the modern environmental planning we have today. Its influence in art, architecture, and science is very remarkable that even its traces are still visible not only in Europe but also around the world as a result of colonization and globalization. As the pressures of the population boom increases, especially in urban areas, it is imperative that the environmental planning is necessary and very crucial in balancing equity, economy, and environment, and attaining sustainability. There are now over 7 billion people all over the world, confined in only 63 million square kilometers of habitable land. Modern towns and cities nowadays should accommodate the growth by ensuring food security and access to clean water and wise planning of space management, such as vertical residences, so that our future generation can still enjoy the world. Mula dito sa Neyra Region 3, dito sa Diosdado Magpagal Government Center, ako po si Al ng Plantitos at Plantitas. Hanggang sa muli mga subscribers, ingat po tayong lahat.
Don't forget to hit like,
Share and subscribe
In our channel to
Get updated with our latest videos. Thank you!